Hello everyone, for today's video we discussed adapted from 2004 French film Castra and borrowing the basic outline of the story, Wrath of Man is a time-shifting neo-noir crime thriller filled with though sometimes violent men, gangster and former combat veterans, most with smattering of security guard and cops. Richie, the co-screenwriters Ivan Atkinson and Marn Davis suggest that H could belong to any of those groups or maybe sometimes else entirely. We instantly suspect he's not a man he claims to be even if he haven't seen the trailer. Then the films let a couple of major characters suspect the same thing and then a couple more until it became regular topic for discussion at Fortico, along with jokes about somebody on Steam being inside the men for armor car robbers.
Wrath of a Man is an action movie which every situation of life event can relate to our last topic discussion. Hill wants to take revenge because his son is dead. He felt guilty for his son Doggy and he planned to kill the person who causes his pain. He helped FBI to resolve the crime of money heist. In the other side of the group of veteran robbery like Carlos, Sam, Brad, Tom, and John, who experienced a difficult life and they lost the job struggling financially and emotionally. Because of that, they do a crime to adjust a difficult situation in their life. One of the most difficult experience of a father may have is witnessing his son's death. It's something that would always make you feel guilty, angry, and vengeful, all at the same time. The main character of the movie did all his best to find the man who killed his son, whatever it takes.
To deal with stress or worry, defense mechanisms are employed. Defense mechanisms are mostly unconscious behaviors for the majority of people. When Wrath of Man leaves him to fill out the other characters, they can't measure up because their badness is too legible. From there, until a third of the way through the story, Richie and Satham treat H as a blank screen upon which the imagination can project scenarios. We wonder who he really is and what he really wants, and wonder whether his precise response to another heist shooting a bushel of robbers single-handedly, while crooks use Bullet as human shield and H's partner. Boy Sweat Dave sit in the driver's seat of the armored car, paralyzed with fear is a harbinger of heroic deeds to come, or the opening salvo in an inside man's strategy that will reveal H as a monster of greed and bloodlust.
He's someone that is full of revenge. Though it might not seem obvious at first, but on the middle part of the movie, it is clear and understandable. Most people considered that they have the right to take their revenge as a form of private justice for the wrongful acts they have experienced. Just like H, he was very determined and would do anything to avenge his son's death. Guy Ritchie's Wrath of Man is a revenge drama that is admittedly a little conventional in terms of the plot twist it covers, but the plot is stopping from saying it. Although the plot was unpredictable, it is nevertheless interesting. The story follows H, a man on a mission that develops a little unevenly in the midst of hate robbery. It is referring to the plot, while it is rather predictable, I believe it contains an essential lesson.
Maybe if a specific segment of society have been better cared for, this entire negative scenario could have been avoided, given how twisted up the news has been in recent months. It felt entirely believable. I also have to say that I admire how the film is divided into acts it aids in determining the story's progression, and I enjoy how the title card is quoted in each part of the film. Wrath of Man can be stressful, making it difficult to adjust to change. Even positive life transition can be stressful, making it difficult to adjust to change. Adjusting tough and demanding life events, particularly through mental, emotional, and behavioral flexibility and adjustment to external and internal needs.
Then the movie takes us to a different time and place and to another. It always giving us additional information about age that will likely negate whatever take you had It is pretty easy to categorize Wrath of Man as Ritchie doing Heat, putting it squarely into the post-Heat crime film that has really boomed the past few years. These films tend to overcomplicate underground crime and its major players. Cops and criminals became fully fledged characters with tragedies and philosophies in their place in the struggle that is life. Wrath of Man replaces the usual cop angle with a security company who move millions of dollars around Los Angeles every day, becoming natural targets for syndicates with extraordinarily complex heist plans. The stuff movies are made of.
Like many other Ritchie movies, this owes a great structural depth to Pulp Fiction. The plot leaps around in time, showing the same event from multiple perspectives, attempting to create painfully obvious aha moments for the viewer. The reality is that they want money, respect, are bored, and need something to do, and so on. They don't enter the room with the stench of sulfur as H does on the subject of man's problem and another man's problem. Little largely unnecessary backstories pushed to the forefront. We get another Ritchie special as one Crook Jackson explains the details of a particular heist as it happens. Not only is this a tired, washed-out plot, they execute it in the clunkiest fashion. Word of Man can be stressful, making it difficult to adjust to change. Even positive life transitions can be stressful, making it too difficult to adjust to change.
They're all plays out of a familiar, well-read playbook. Statham does what the film asks of him, playing Stoneface to the umpteenth power, whether blasting enemies, mourning a tragic loss, exacting vengeance, or ordering burritos. He wears an identical blank expressions. That's the character, that he's a green-faced badass. But it also means there is zero emotional investment in anything happening on screen. Everyone is despicable, but he is the one shot this movie as a presenting compelling, or the very least interesting character, only to whip on a paper this wants to be super deep and spiritual and awash in subtext. Only continually say that the quiet part of love is humanly possible. Wrath of Man opened with ingenious, sharp edits, a quick-paced robbery accompanied by a frenetic sound effect, mobile camera, gunshots, then the controlled normalcy of expositions.
Hard times can mean different things to different people, and coping with difficult times is never easy. You can be grieving the loss of a loved one, going through a job loss, or adjusting to a life change for a new life. Life isn't always what you expected it to be. You just have to keep on going and face everything that stands in your way. For our lesson of role model, and well, this connects on how each character was a vengeful man. He was one army pursuing those who had offended him. Several people died as a result of his rage. He was unconcerned. He continued forward. Each range was quite hazardous. Leaders that are in range are also hazardous. We must be cautious not to be indulged in rage. We can't lead from a place of anger. It will only take us down a path of destruction.
Only Guy and Quentin Tarantino can making drive to and fro the bank so frantic. H, played by Jason, is the new guy of the cash transporting company for Tico. He barely passed the application test for when the company armor buses bearing a cash and H are attacked by the armed robber twice. He show a great and murder every single member of one gang and merely showing his face to the other second gang. The film went back and forth for making believe that H's intention whether it's good or bad, but it was left for the spectator amused. Overall, this is the type of film or movie where you don't root for everyone since they all made their own bed of lies and most of them cover them up, which is our life is.
The movie opens quickly, but first, there is the onslaught of funny names traditional to the Guy Ritchie. An onslaught of subtitle and brazen homosexual innuendo. Finally, the knowledge that a dark is ruse is a play is introduced. The sound, the ambience, the disjointed plot. The glorification of masochism and violence are the laid before bear and stand prominent in numerous scenes. There are also minor reveals that join the audience. Moment are really the revelation of each title cards, meaning intersections. For example, all of these keep an intrigue in the